Believe it or not, in the world of military aviation, where superpowers like the US, Russia, and even China are constantly battling for dominance, there is one country that has emerged as the most terrifying dark horse. That country is none other than Turkey. Many of you might know Turkey from the Bayraktar TB2 drones, which changed the face of modern warfare forever and became a must-have item for armies around the world. But what I'm going to show you today isn't just another remote control drone. It represents the absolute pinnacle of aviation engineering with an actual pilot in the cockpit. It represents Turkey's ambition to announce to the world that they are no longer just a buyer. They are becoming a maker. They don't want to rely on Western technology, fear sanctions, or worry about being left high and dry in a crisis anymore. Today, I am going to take you to meet the TAI Hürjet, Turkey's first supersonic Iron Eagle. It wasn't born just to be a simple trainer, it was designed from the ground up to be a pocket-sized killer, ready to go toe-to-toe with market leaders from South Korea and Italy. Just how fierce is the Hürjet, and why is this the project the whole world needs to watch? Let's dive in deep together. Before we look at the killer specs, let me share a little nugget of history that has a huge meaning. The name Hürjet wasn't just chosen because it sounds cool. The word Hür in Turkish means free or liberty. When you combine it with jet, it implies the jet of freedom. This reflects Turkey's intention to liberate itself from relying on foreign weapons and to have the freedom to produce its own defense technology without waiting for a green light from Washington or Brussels. In another sense, the name honors GE F404, a pilot hero and pioneer of Turkish aviation who was once overlooked in the past. Today, he is a symbol of the courage to build aircraft with Turkish hands. Just the name alone wins on the sorry front, right? It's declaring national dignity through the name of a plane. So, when did this project start? Let's go back to 2017. At the time, the Turkish Air Force had a major headache because their veteran trainers like the T-38 Talon used since the Cold War era was reaching the end of their lifespan. Maintenance was a nightmare, costs were skyrocketing, and the NF-5 jets of the Turkish Star aerobatic teams needed an urgent replacement. So, Turkish Aerospace Industries made a very bold move. They started the Hürjet project as a private venture. Simply put, they paid out of their own pocket to fund the research without waiting for government budget approval at first, just to speed up the process. The goal was to build a supersonic trainer made 100% by Turkish people. And would you believe it? With this level of determination, they went from just a sketch on paper to the day it first took on the skies in April 2023 in only about 5 to 6 years. That is incredibly fast for the standard of building a fighter jet, which usually takes Western nations a decade. This proves that Turkish engineers are the real deal and ready for the world stage. Now, I want to invite everyone to look at the big picture of air forces globally right now. A major problem many countries face is a technology gap. Imagine this, many countries are switching to 5th generation fighters like the F-35, which are highly complex, featuring touchscreens, voice command systems, and smart helmets. But the trainers they are using are 40 or 50 years old technology, like the T-38 Talon or other old school jets where the gauges are still analog needles. The dashboard is cluttered, and you have to tap and poke things. Taking a student pilot from an old school jet and throwing them into an F-35 is like teaching someone to drive in a manual Volkswagen Beetle with a heavy steering wheel and then the next day telling them to drive a Formula One car with hundreds of buttons on the wheel. Pilots can't adapt in times. It causes culture shock in the cockpit and created massive risk. This is why the world needs what's called a lift or lead-in fighter trainer, an advanced trainer that simulates everything to be just like a modern fighter. And this is exactly where Turkey saw a golden opportunity in the global market. Instead of buying from someone else, Turkey slammed the table and said, "We'll build it ourselves." Their mission was to make a plane that could train pilots for fifth-generation fighters, and importantly, it had to transform into a light attack aircraft to answer the needs of countries with limited budget that want a multi-role jet. And that is the origins of the Hürjet project we are talking about. Now, let's look at our hero. The TAI Hürjet isn't just an engine with wings slapped on. It is a work of engineering art throughout in detail. Its look might resemble competitors at a glance, but if you look closely, you will see very modern aerodynamic designs. It's a monoplane with the wing on top of the fuselage, along with side air intakes designed to handle high angles of attack perfectly using lightweight but strong carbon composite materials. The heart that makes the Hürjet powerful is the engine. Turkey was very smart to choose the General Electric F404 GE F404. This is the same family of engines used in Korea T-50 or even the Gripen CD that we are familiar with. Choosing this engine was a brilliant move because it's proven to be durable, spare parts are easy to find, and is used all over the world. Customers don't have to worry about long-term maintenance. You buy it and you don't have to fear running out of parts. But the thing that wow me the most, and is the highlight of this model, isn't just the engine. It's the cockpit. The Hürjets come with a massive wide area display (WAD) that stretches across the entire console. No more clustered needle gauges. This is the same standard as the F-35 or 5th generation fighters. It allows pilots to perceive combat information or situational awareness in real time. It trains pilots to get used to looking at the big picture and prioritizing data sensor fusion instead of staring at old school dials. This confirms that the Hürjet was born to mold the new generation of pilots. Of course, the Hürjet isn't standing alone in this battlefield. Its scariest competitor and current market leader is the KT-50 Golden Eagle from South Korea. We have to admit, the T-50 is very successful. It's the big brother in the industry that sells like hotcakes and has developed to the point of having AESA radar and firing long-range missiles. But the T-50 weakness is freshness. Its base model is starting to age, and the price is jumping up with the performance, which many countries are starting to see as too expensive for just a trainer. Meanwhile, the other camp, the Boeing T-7 Red Hawk from America, which came with a super cool digital engineering concept, is facing real-world problems. Delays in development, ejection seat issues, and software bugs have pushed the rally back by years. This right here is the sweet spot for the Hürjet to slide in. Turkey positioned the Hürjet as the best value option. You get fresh wide array display technology newer than the T-50 at the more accessible price and ready to deliver faster than the T-7 in some markets, especially for Muslim nations or countries that don't want to rely 100% on American technology. Plus, the Hürjet has a secret weapon, air-to-air refueling capability. Usually, this feature is cut from budget trainers, but Turkey put it in. This means the Hürjet can extend its operational range, fly longer, which is useful for both long-distance training missions and actual combat patrols. This makes the Hürjet look much more multi-role than many competitors in the market right now. To give you the clearest picture, I've updated the latest number for you. From this table, the point I want you to focus on is its claws. Beside the thrust F404 engines, the Hürjet come with 7 hard points, 3 under each wing and 1 under the belly, which is a lot for a jet this size. Plus, it can handle up to 8G, meaning it's not just for flying straight, it's ready to roll into a real dogfight. Another point we have to mention is the Murat radar, an AESA type developed by Turkey themselves. This radar is a game changer because it allows the Hürjet to detect targets from further away and receive signal jamming better than all rotating disk radar. It basically acts as a mini AWACS in the battlefield. As for the price, if you look at the flyaway cost, it falls around 20 to 25 million US dollar per jet, which compared to spec that give you the same F404 engines as a Gripen and a modern AESA radar, that is incredible value. If we assume we are procuring a full squadron of 12 jets, the budget for just the aircraft would be around 240 to 300 millions. This figure doesn't include support vehicles, long-term spares, or training yet. But to show you the confidence level, just recently in late December 2025, Spain signed a historic deal worth over 2.6 billion to acquire 30 Hürjet aircraft. This deal is huge because it guarantees that the Hürjet passes NATO standards and is trusted by a European country with sky-high aviation standards. This is the ultimate proof that their stuff is the real deal. But every coin has two sides. The Hürjet's journey hasn't always been a bed of roses. We have to accept the reality that in the previous LCA deal in Malaysia, TAI pitched the Hürjet confidently, but in the end, they lost to the F-50 Block 20 from South Korea. The main reason was readiness and risk. At that time, the Hürjet was still just a prototype that had just started flight testing, while the F-50 has been through real battlefields and had a stable production line ready for immediate delivery. This is a crucial lesson that teaches us in the arms trade, which exists in reality is more important than what's in the brochure, and logistics is the heart that buyers care about. However, the door isn't closed. Recently, Sierra Nevada Corporation (SNC), a giant company in the US, partnered with TAI to prepare to pitch the Hürjet in an upgraded version to the US Navy for their new trainer program to replace the T-45 Ghost Shark. The fact that an American giant dares to put its reputation on the line for a Turkish plane hints that the Hürjet had got the goods. It might just be the dark horse that rises again in the Western market, thanks to a cheaper price tag and Turkey's rapid production capability. Finally, what does the TAI Hürjet project tell us? It tells us that the world of military technology isn't monopolized by just a few countries anymore. Turkey has proven that the determination for self-reliance can create innovation that rivals the world class. The Hürjet might be just the first step, but it is a solid one, paving the way for bigger projects like the Khan stealth fighter that will make Turkey a full-fledged air power in this century. For me, the Hürjet is proof that if you dare to start, you have the right to change the game. What about you guys? Do you think this little eagle from Turkey can take the throne of the T-50 from Korea? Or do you think our Air Force should look at this model as an option for the future? Let's swap opinions in the comments. I read every single one. For this clip today, I hope it was useful for everyone. If you like it, please hit like and share to support the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.